Hello. Lauren, you're muted.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren Ornelas, founder and senior programs director at Food Empowerment Project.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kennedy Little, and I'm the Youth Advocacy Coordinator with Food Empowerment Project.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We're really excited to recap the 2023 year with you and talk about all the things we did and that you helped make happen. Kennedy, I don't know if you want to start with talking about some of the amazing work that you did this year and some of your favorite projects.
Yeah, so F.E.P has done so much this year, and I'm so grateful that I'm a part of just a lot of the fantastic work that's been done. Some of the things that I worked on were growing our TikTok account to reach youth and also just to reach individuals that wanted to see things in more of a condensed format. And then also I've worked on our first ever youth scholarship contest, as well as some upcoming projects with our vegan coordinator, Jazz Bowler. So a lot of great things in the making, and then also a lot of great things that have been done already. So
Kennedy, I have to say, you being part of the team, for those of you who don't know, Kennedy started with us late last year. Actually, technically, I guess the beginning of this year, huh?
Yes.
As our intern. And as you can see, so impressed with all of her energy and ideas that we have hired her. She's still in college, though, everybody, in case you didn't know. So we only get her for a small amount of time, but we're super grateful for that. And just thank you so much for making our TikTok live again and our guests alive in general. So thanks everybody for tuning into Kennedy. Be sure to check out our TikTok. She always shares really important information. So we just wanted to go through and just talk about some of the things we worked on this year that you helped make happen. Okay, well, the first one is our billboards. Got colonization. Last year, we were able to put up 2 billboards. This year, we put up 1 billboard, again near Madison, Wisconsin, and just to try to get people thinking about where dairy comes from and the various connections that it has, and directing people to our website, Got Colonization, that goes through and talks about the human impact of the dairy industry and obviously the impact that it has on cows, the environment, and also the connection with colonization. And we also put an ad out in a paper in Memphis right around what we would call Indigenous Peoples Day, but a lot of people also know it as Columbus Day, to try to really drive home the concept of colonization in dairy. Did you like seeing the billboard up in the ads, Kennedy?
I did. I think it's a great way to attract other people. And I love that F.E.P has the ability to do that. And a lot of it is because of our donors. So thank you all so much for giving us the ability to just share all of the incredible work that we're doing. It means a lot.
And if anybody wants the Got Colonization booklets, we send them out for free. You can order one, or if you have an organization and you want some from your tabling events, just let us know and we'll send them out.
Yes. All right. I think now we can start talking about some of our school supply drive work, which has been going on for quite some time with F.E.P, which I always love to see.
Thank you. Yep. This year we thanks to all of you generous donors, we were able to get school supplies to children who were impacted by the gun violence in Half Moon Bay that took place earlier this year. We also, as you can see from this video, were able to get school supplies for the children of farm workers in Santa Maria. And again, farm workers face so many injustices, even in the state of California, where they do have a lot of protections. But yet, as we work on a lot of the injustices, from wage theft to not having appropriate housing. This is one way we see to give back to the farm workers. We do not see it as an act of charity, but instead we see it as a way to give back in the most immediate way we possibly can, because we know these farm workers sacrifice so much for their children to have a better life, that we want to get school supplies in their hands, because we know their education is important to them. And we want them to know what rock stars they are. We want them to have a successful school year.
It's such a beautiful thing to see take place. And although I wasn't able to be on site helping with it, I know several of our staff members like Alejandra and I believe Ethan and Lee, they were all there to help. So it's a really great opportunity for all of us members to get together and to serve those that truly deserve the help.
All right, next, I guess, is a panel. We are still working on the 50-mile regulation, which impacts the education of the children of farm workers. And Alejandra and I were able to go up to Sacramento, where I moderated a panel with some experts, where they showed the documentary that really looks at how the 50-mile regulation greatly impacts the children of farm workers who live in the labor camps, who are forced to move out before the school season's over. So basically what happens is the picking season's going on. The children are forced to leave where it is that they live, even if school's still going on. So they may miss 3 months or more of school, which really impacts their ability to finish their education. It was amazing to have one of the people on the far right. That's Jose, who actually did graduate from high school and graduated from college and now is an educator himself. So it was a beautiful event. If you haven't seen the panel, we're hoping to get information about the documentary up so you all can definitely tune into that. But we are still working on this, and we'll be working on it through into next year. Again, just to make sure that the children of farm workers who live in these labor camps have the ability to complete their education.
Yes. This is such an important work that Lauren is doing. And I actually got educated on this because of a YouTube video that F.E.P has up on our YouTube channel. I forgot what it's titled, but if you're interested in learning more, there's a video that Lauren has created that kind of gives like a brief overview of what she's been working on in F.E.P as a whole. So it's a really incredible mission that we're working on.
Thanks, Kennedy. All right. Well, this is our vegan Lao food booklet. As you all know, a big part of Food Empowerment Project is really recognizing that you don't have to give up your culture when you go vegan. That a lot of us, myself as a Mexican, didn't want to contribute to animal suffering, but didn't want to have to give up all the foods that I love. And we've done that by highlighting people who are part of the F.E.P team. So Vegan Lao Food, the website was created last year and the booklet went out this year, was in honor of our first intern and our long-serving board member, Sharon Dara Pandith. The website is in English and in Lao, and this beautiful booklet contains lots of Lao recipes that are vegan. Yeah. And you can order one too if you want.
Yes. I myself, I have an Oregon campus, and we make sure to pass out some of these, or at least have them on the table for students to come by and look at. And they're all pretty impressed that we have some food books that are from a lot of different places like Laos and Mexico and China as well, just trying to encapsulate the culture and share that it is possible to have those comfort foods while still not indulging in animal-based ingredients. And we also have a webpage called Eating Vegan on a Budget, which takes that a step further and shows that you can also implement a lot of different ways of eating that are feasible for you and for your family, and also as a college student as well, like maybe some of you watching are.
Well, and Kenny's done some great videos on TikTok, which I know we'll talk about later, but some really great ones if you live in your dorm rooms, and some nice hacks and vegan meals that you can make for yourself. But speaking of the different sites, and Jazz worked very hard on eating on a budget, eating vegan on a budget, and also veganchinesefood.com, which she worked on with our board member, Jessian. And again, this is a lot of different recipes. We actually launched it this year with the Mooncake Festival to really highlight vegan Chinese food. This one, Jazz and Jessian are working on having this in a booklet form. That we'll be producing next year with some beautiful designs. You can see that logo. The logo kind of highlights a dragon, so it's to look like a dragon. Wei, the Chinese artist, designed that for us, and it's going to be perfect for starting the year of the dragon next year.
Yes, it's such a beautiful website. I love all the details and designs, and the photos of the food look so delicious.
I know. I'm so excited to see the booklet. It's going to be great.
Yes.
And here's what we were mentioning before, Jazz's amazing work. You want to take it away, Kennedy?
Sure. So this is our Eating Vegan on a Budget webpage. Like Lauren mentioned, this is something that our vegan program coordinator, Jazz, has worked on. And it gives such an array of different foods that you can go out and purchase that don't break your budget or that don't break your wallet. There's a lot of different options and varieties and ways that you can mix up different dishes to still get the flavors and the richness of eating vegan. But of course, having that feasible aspect in mind. And so we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner recipes. And then we also have desserts as well, things that you can make with things and just ingredients maybe around your house. And also snacks. I'm a big snacker, so you can get creative, of course, with snacks as well. And then it also gives you a guide throughout the grocery store, and then just like certain things that should be staples within your pantry or within your refrigerator.
So again, I mean, we know that having access to healthy foods is not feasible for everybody. And that's why we also work on fighting food apartheid.
Mm-hmm.
But with something like this is really created for people who have the privilege of being on a budget, people who are in school, who have a budget. But what I really like about this is I know a lot of times, people who are interested in going vegan are like, well, what do you eat? What did you have for lunch? What did you have for breakfast? And I'm always like, I don't eat breakfast, so I'm not very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
But I also been, vegan for so long that I have the dishes that we eat all the time. And so it's so nice to have a variety of ideas for people for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If they are just trying to figure out what to eat, because for some of us who've been vegan for a long time, we don't realize that it is very confusing for people because they're not quite sure what to do. And we don't want them just to remove the animal product. We want them to have a nice full meal so they don't get hungry later and maybe blame it on veganism, that why they didn't stick with going vegan. So this is super helpful, and Jazz put their heart into it. So I'm really excited. And Jazz can't be here today. She's out. But we do have Ethan and Alejandro in the background working on the magic you see.
Well, I think it's time for what everyone's been waiting for, our video, end of year video. We're so excited for you all to see it. It really just encapsulates all of the work that we've been doing this year. Really thanks to you all and your support. And of course, the incredible staff that has been here for quite some time working behind the scenes. So I'm very excited to see it.
And we want you to have questions when you're watching it, if you have any questions for us or anything like that. But more than anything, we hope you feel that this is a celebration of our shared vision, believing in the fact that fighting for human and non-human animal rights is connected, and that we need to be doing it together. That's not a one or the other, that it's all together. And that we stand together in solidarity against oppression and exploitation, we can make great changes in the world. And doing it with our food choices, which we do 1 to several times a day if we have that privilege, is mighty. So anyway, watch the video, celebrate not only the amazing team at Food Empowerment Project that we have right now, which is absolutely incredible, but also all that you've done to make this happen, from donations or just sharing our messages.
Chopped with a vegan twist.
For it to be quicker,
Including that's wonderful. Offset spatula.
My name is Kennedy Little, and I'm the Youth Advocacy Intern for Food Empowerment Project. My role here has been to be a resource for youth to show them the importance of ethical veganism. This role has led me to begin F.E.P's first ever youth scholarship contest, where youth are able to showcase their talents through things like writing and illustration.
F.E.P is an organization centering veganism and food justice. Wow.
Hope everybody had fun watching it. I know that I had fun again seeing you in your kitty cat costume for Halloween.
Thank you.
Chapped was such a fun event. I mean, that is like a full team effort. Lee does so much with the videos, Alejandro pulling it all together. You're an amazing MC, and Jazz doing the recipes, and again, Ethan working their magic in the background. It's just so much fun. And you being a great addition to it this year.
Thank you. I completely agree. I feel like a lot went into it, but it was all so worth it. And just knowing that people were receiving just the information and like the different educational pieces and the bakers, like there was so much that was received by our audiences. And I got so much amazing feedback from it. And I'm just so happy that people enjoyed it.
For sure. And it looked all tasty too.
Yes, it did. Always, I'm still jealous of Josh. You got to enjoy all the dessert.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know if I could cook it, but it was fun to watch.
Yeah, and our great chefs as well. I've had the privilege of eating some of Alicia's stuff at Jaguar Bakery. Oh, her stuff's so good because we were located so close by.
Oh, that's awesome.
Speaking of tasty, I guess the next thing we want to talk about is our incredible chocolate list.
Yes.
And again, that we are keeping, Lee's doing a great job of continuing to add new companies to our list. Thanks to you all. I mean, basically, this list grows every single month, thanks to everybody who submits what companies that they want us to look into. And I'll say, I definitely add companies. When I'm at the store, I'll see something that looks good and be like, hey, Lee, can you look into this company? Because we want to make sure that, as Food Empowerment Project talks about, that we're eating our ethics, and we are not eating our ethics if we're eating chocolate sourced from areas where child labor and slavery are still prevalent. And of course, our list, every company has to make at least one vegan chocolate.
Yes. And I love how comprehensive the list is, and that to go along with it, we have an app for those who have a phone or who have some kind of mobile device. You're able to just pull it out and then scan it, and then it tells you right there on the spot if it is approved by F.E.P or if it's not approved. So I really love this app, and just the attention and the awareness that was put into this whole process of the chocolate list.
Thank you. Yep, it's free for your Android or your iPhone. And I'm super excited to dive into the next part of what we're talking about, because so much of it highlights the beautiful ideas and work that you've brought to Food Empowerment Project.
Thank you. Yes. So this is our TikTok account. And here we have a lot of different moving parts. So I'm on break right now, but when I do head back to school, you're going to be seeing more videos of me cooking in my dorm, which it's just a lot of easy, budget-friendly recipes for students who have the ability to maybe go out to the store, who have an on-campus grocery store, to make those recipes in their dorm. So they're all dorm-friendly. And then we also have our educational videos, which are sometimes a minute long, which showcase some of the really awesome information that we have on our F.E.P website. So we have a lot of pieces that talk about the animal industry and that talk about animal entertainment. And so what I do is I take those pieces and I turn them into video formats. And then we also have our Youth Day of Action, which happens on the third Friday of every month. And there I just talk about different ways that students and just all youth can get engaged on different oppressive issues that are going on around the world, because there are a lot, but there's a lot of different ways that we can take several steps throughout the day to help better those issues, whether it be signing a petition or making a video to be part of a campaign or a project. There's a lot of different things that we can do.
Amazing. And of course, what you brought to us, the scholarship contest, which was a great idea. This is something that Kenny did completely as an intern.
Yeah, so this is definitely one of my favorite projects. I'm just going to say it now. I really enjoy doing this and pulling together our judges. As you can see, we had some of the most phenomenal judges. We had Susie Gonzalez, Jeremy Sereno, and then AFCO, and they all brought such a detailed view and outlook to the youth's submissions. And next we have all of the individuals that placed first or second place. We had this divided into a young adult division for our students that were in their final years of high school or in college. And then we also had a young adult division, a junior division for those that were in middle school or a little bit younger. So this was really all inclusive and gave everyone the opportunity to showcase what they loved about veganism and then ways that we can make the system more just. And they really delivered. So I'm so happy for next year's.
Well, I know the next part of what we want to talk about are our favorite projects. That one's a beauty.
Yes.
I loved it's so amazing to see, like, here's just an idea and then just the creativity that flowed out of it.
So creative.
But I know, honestly, one of my favorite projects is all the youth stuff that you've done, Kennedy. And I know we have some amazing youth stuff that you and Jazz have been working on that's going to be coming out next year. But I think that, obviously, climate crisis, everything is around us, and I recognize that and I know that. But I feel like, when I look at what's happening in the world today, I recognize that when I was young, we had crises that we were working on, right? There were things that kept you up at night when you were young. And I feel like most of them were self-imposed by misdirection in the United States. So let's say the Cold War, which was clearly something we could prevent. This is something, the threat of nuclear war. I mean, we had control over that. Our governments had control over that. But what I think is so striking about now is that what the youth of today have to worry about is complete survival. And again, primarily of the most vulnerable. The most vulnerable around the globe are the ones who have to fear. And it's something that we created. It's basically saying all of these generations before you mucked everything up. And, as somebody who decided not to have children, I don't have any kids. But I will say that watching and hearing and being in tune with voices like yours and Jazz and Alejandra, and of course my niece and my nephew, groups like the Raven Corps, where, my goal right now is just the damnedest that I can do, I need to do. And I think that's why the youth work in general excites me so much, is because you all are so bold and you all are changing
Thank you.
the way the world moves and the way the world sees itself, and even capitalism, if I may be so bold to say so. And I think that empowers me more to recognize that all of those in these other generations that are responsible, literally responsible for what's happened, owe you all more for the unprecedented damage that we've done to this planet. And so I'm so thankful to you to accepting to work with us and to get these programs out there.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lauren. That is so beautiful. And I thank F.E.P for even creating this position and realizing that, because is it unfair that we have to kind of burden a lot of these different things? Absolutely. But we are also very thankful for having minds like yours that allow us to do something about it and that allow us to see that we have power to make those changes. So if there's any youth that are watching, please stay tuned to see ways that you can get involved with F.E.P's mission, because I have so many different ideas, I'm sure we all do as a team, to get us all involved and to start making some really impactful and effective changes. So stay tuned.
What about your favorite project?
Oh my gosh. So other than the Youth Scholarship Contest, I really don't know. I feel like there's so many different things. Chopped was amazing. Man, there's just been so much.
I would have to say the little video clip that you saw of the farm workers, there was a little girl with a silver 8, and it was her 8th birthday. And she ran up and gave Alejandra and I hugs. And so just the little ones from the school supply drive was incredibly powerful to be with them.
Yeah. So would you say that that's one of your favorite projects?
Well, the youth stuff is my favorite. But yeah, definitely. I mean, the school supply drives does something to my heart that's inexplicable. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy that you mentioned that, because for me, I think that also comes, I really can't choose favorites. I think that they all have like in their own way, they're all amazing. So, but I really do love the school supply drive, because it shows that there's so many different layers to F.E.P and that we're not just focused on food, but how a lot of these different things are interconnected, and also not just focusing on, of course, one aspect. So I really do admire that, and I think that it brings in a lot of attraction for people to see a lot of the great things that we're doing when it comes to the community and community work.
For sure. Yep. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, the youth stuff add another layer, right? But all of this stuff is connected. And again, I'm grateful for all of our supporters who get that, right? I mean, it's so, when I started Food Empowerment Project, does anybody agree with this or not? Does anybody agree we can talk about, we can talk about veganism and talk about farm workers, and it's not a conflict. They go hand in hand. So eternally grateful for all of our supporters. It will get us to our 17th year next year. Wow. All right. Well, we are going to be wanting to ask you to start asking us some questions now. And anything you want to ask us about, we welcome you to ask. And as the questions hopefully start rolling in, we just wanted to share a couple of our new pages that we came out with this year that are new on our website about more commodities and how our foods impact human and non-human animals, and also what you can do. So the first page that we have, Steeped in Injustice, which is interesting because last year, I think when we did Chopped, we had people really wanting us to take a look at tea and what was going on with tea. And this page is really beautiful, talking about the historical place where tea even came from. And unfortunately, the problems, again, with even fair trade tea, and the injustices that are in every cup and what you can do. So again, as every section on our website, again, they're fully referenced, and then we have recommendations in there. And we try to make our recommendations things that are reasonable, that we think everybody can do. And then the page we just came out with recently is our new coconut page. A lot of us know about macaques being used, and it's really heartbreaking. Really, really heartbreaking how these animals are treated to get coconuts.
It really is. Yeah. And yeah, these photos are so horrific, because it shows what's been going on for decades in order for the US to be supplied with things to fill up our grocery stores. So I really do admire how F.E.P really tries to just have a deeper look into how we can't always trust corporations or what they're telling us. There really is another way that we need to see these things, because it's not always as it appears. So please, if you have free time, consider reading some of these websites and some of these web pages that we have that give a deeper look into the food industry.
All right. So did anybody have any questions for us? Maybe not. Well, if there are no questions, give it a few more minutes. But while we wait, we will ask you to kindly to remember to support Food Empowerment Project at the end of year. If you liked what you saw on the video, know that your donations help make it possible for us to do even more in 2024. We have some amazing plans. We've talked about some of them, but we have a lot of ideas and things we want to bring forth in 2024, and we can only do it with your support. Kennedy, this is starting to sound like a telethon.
I know. Should we give them the sneak peek, or should we make them yes.
Well, we hope you all have enjoyed. I'm going to just ramble until we see if we got any questions, but we really appreciate you all spending time with us, watching our video with us, and letting Kennedy and I run down memory lane as we talked about all the things that we did this year and how excited we are. We have an incredibly fantastic team at Food Empowerment Project right now. And just really grateful for everybody's work and ideas, and just creative juices that flow in the organization is beautiful.
Yes, I think you've said it. I am just so incredibly happy to be here with you all, and just so excited to see everything that happens in the future and ways that we build and just continue to grow as an organization.
All right. Well, it seems like we don't have any questions, but as always, that doesn't mean we're disappearing. You can always ask questions through social media or you can email us. So I guess that's it for this year. And if you want to see Kennedy and I more, let us know.
Yeah, you can also follow us on our Instagram, our TikTok, our LinkedIn, and we're there all the time.
Isn't she amazing? Oh, Kennedy, so grateful for you. And thank you all so much, everybody.
Yes. Happy New Year, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.